Oh. Hey, leave me alone. Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to hell. Well, maybe not hell, but the nether. And the reason I'm here today is these guys. I need to kill these guys. I need to kill lots of these guys. And doing them one at a time as they spawn here in the nether, that's just not my speed. That's just, that takes too long. So what I've done is I have marked out a 10 block wide swath here in this orange hardened clay. And I've gone through both of these guys and a little bit of this guy and this dude over here. And I could even keep going. I might keep going. I might widen this some more, because there's very little reason not to. Well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. But either way, I've got it all laid out, and the time has come to build a proper farm to kill wither skeletons. Now, my one worry here is controlling all the spawn in this area. Wow, that's going to be a monumental job. That may not happen right away. But at the very least, I can get started on this project here. Wow, more guys. So now when I start to record the video, oh sure, now they spawn. Now we get lots of spawn from these guys. Usually I have to run around like crazy to get these guys to spawn. But yeah, killing all these guys one at a time, that's a bit much. Oh, he got me. Okay, so, yeah, you guys have seen this design before. This is the pusher design that I did in Season 2. I'm going to do a very similar one here. It's a little bit larger, in case you couldn't tell. And part of the reason I'm making it larger is just so that I don't have to worry quite so much about finding and destroying all of the spawn areas around here. So I'm going to make it a little bit larger. I'm also going to make a slightly improved design down below where the mechanism for sorting out all the non-wither skells is. But, wow, these guys are angry at the moment. But either way, I got to get going. I got to start building this thing. So let's get started, shall we? Let's do it. Alright guys, I'm done for now. I've got 3 spawning levels complete. And I built these little stairs to let me get up there. So, for the time being, they're lit up. And the melons don't go completely all the way around because I wanted to be able to get in and out and see how things look. So if we go down here, this is what it looks like down below. We're going to watch out for him. But now, hey, leave me alone. Alright, but now what I need to do is I need to decide where I want to funnel all these guys. Now, a logical choice would be to funnel all of the wither skeletons to this side. However, this is actually kind of close to my hub there. And at some point... Okay, go away, guys. Yep, he got me. At some point... I need... sorry. At some point, I need to go ahead and spawn-proof all of this. And it might actually be a little tricky to do that so close to there. So I'm thinking... Well, I don't know. Maybe it won't. But I'm thinking of maybe routing them over to this side. It might be a little easier for me, I think. I don't know. I'm thinking this side. So that means I've got to open this up right here, because what's going to happen is we're going to have guys... This is a pusher design, in case you don't remember it from last season, or in case you weren't here. It's a pusher design, and they all get pushed over to one side, and then they drop, and they all get pushed over to the other side. Now, when I did this last season... Oh, these guys are so loud. Hold on. Do-do-do-do-do. I know you're not... I can turn it down for you guys, but... Still, I've got to listen to it. Alright. So, in case you weren't around last season to see this, you may not really understand what that was like. But I will say this. I have done things... I want to do things a little bit differently this time. I gotta kill this guy. There we go. I want to do things just a little bit differently this time. I've learned some things since I built the last one. What I want to do is I want to build this in such a way that I can drop the guys down a level with the sweepers without causing them any injury whatsoever. And I've come up with a way to do that. So the first thing I have to do is I have to remove 3 blocks from this end instead of removing just 1. Ordinarily, I just have 1 block there, but there's a method to this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and replace these 2 with top slabs. And what that means is if any mob should get its head stuck up in the top slabs here, it won't take damage. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and remove... Place you here. Next off, I'm going to go ahead and remove this right here. Actually, I think I'm going to remove 2. We're going to go ahead and remove 2 right here and right there. And we're going to replace these 2 with slime blocks. What that means is that anything that gets pushed off the top will bounce on the slime blocks instead of taking damage. You know what? That has to go. Whoops. You've got to go, pal. And now, of course, I've ruined my melons. Okay, well, we'll put it back in a bit. We won't forget to put it back, don't worry. But it has to be removed because things may... Oh, you know what? That was the wrong level. It was okay for that to be there. Never mind. Never mind. Okay, so we end up with slime blocks here, which means that anything that gets knocked off this hole off the top is going to just bounce here, which is great. That's exactly what I want. So it'll bounce instead of taking damage, and in case it gets swept over to the side, its head will be up there initially. It shouldn't take any damage at all. So that takes care of the top layer, pushing it down to here. Now we got to go down to the bottom layer, which means we've got to kill this annoying dude. And actually, as long as I'm heading out, let me go get a watermelon to replace that. I will be back in a second. If I'm not careful, I'm going to get toast. Holy crap! Give me a break, will ya? Wow, I'm just being destroyed. My spawn levels are just a little too effective. Even though I've lit them up. Okay, let's go take care of this guy. There he is. Die. You two, die. Had it with you. There we go. Alright, so we're down on the bottom level. We can go and collect this clay. So, these guys are going to get pushed over to this side. And then we have to do basically the same thing here. So let's go ahead and remove these 3 levels. Gives me a slot to push people down. And then we will go ahead and put our stone slabs in. There we go. And we're going to remove this and replace it with the slime blocks. Got to be careful not to fall here. I'd like to collect as much of this orange stuff as I can. And we're going to put the slime blocks back in here. And yeah, I know I've got to go one more. All right, that should do it. That should do it. All right, so that means that when we get our sweepers in place, they will push any wither skeletons and any other mobs that have spawned all the way over to here. Now, wither skeletons don't take damage if blocks pass through them at the second meter, at the second block height. So if there is, for example, a bar of slime blocks pushing right here that passes through them, they won't take damage. Now, zombie pigmen will, as will regular skeletons and other mobs that are only 2 tall. But since wither skeletons are 3 tall, they actually don't suffocate at this level. They suffocate at the level above. So this thing can pass right through them without causing suffocation, which is what I want. That means that even if they're on this side, as that block comes and sweeps through and then comes back around to push them from the back, they'll have taken no damage whatsoever, which is exactly what I want. So I don't care if the other mobs take damage, because this isn't for the other mobs. This is for the wither skeletons. Okay, so now what I need to do is figure out where these guys are going to drop. They're going to drop out this side. And then the question then becomes, well, where do we collect them? And it's going to be down below. And I'm not exactly sure how safe this is going to be, but I do know I have to go down 21 blocks below here. And then that's where I'm going to build the, 22 blocks. Now, the reason is wither skeletons, like most skeletons, have 20 hit points of damage. Whenever you drop, if you drop 3 blocks or more, you will lose a a number of hit points equal to the number of blocks you have fallen minus 3. So if you drop 3 blocks, sorry, minus 2. So if you drop 3 blocks, you'll take 1 hit point damage. If you drop 4 blocks, you'll take 2 hit points of damage. Wither skeletons have 20 hit points of damage, so I need to drop them 19 plus 2 blocks is 21 blocks. So I need to dig 22 blocks below here, and that is where I need to put my my thing to catch them. Let me double check that. Back to here. 20, 21, 22 and a half. Yes. Okay. Yes, I need to drop them 22 and a half blocks. Now let me go get some stuff. We're going to go ahead and do this kind of backwards. I'm going to go ahead and get some materials so that I can dig down and then build like either a ladder or something to get myself back up without having to come up in the inside. And we're just going to do some carefully laying things out here. I knew that was going to burn. It always does. I got to put a gate there that isn't going to burn. Alright, so I've got hoppers. I've got some slabs, which I'm going to need. I've got some ladders to help me get myself back out. I have some orange hardened clay that I can use for building material. That ought to be enough to get me to where I need to be. So we're going to go ahead and remove this. I'm down 1 level right now. I'm going to do this carefully. I think I'm on a pillar. And because I'm on a pillar, I think I can dig this all the way down. So this is the 2nd level. This is level 3 that I'm digging out. Alright, so this is 22. This is 23, which is where my half slabs are going to go. And this is 24, which is where I need my my hoppers are going to go here. But before I put hoppers in here, let me just real quick go ahead and kind of get out here a little bit. Oh, I thought I had more than that on me. Here, we'll use these. So this should line up right there. Ooh, I feel like I didn't dig it quite far enough. Okay, well, this is good for now. This will be good for now. So what I really need to do here, let me check my design real quick. This is the edge, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Torch this for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the 10th. So this is my killing platform right here. Come on, right into that. Now, this isn't permanent. This is just here temporarily to help me line things up. So let's just go ahead and do this. This is where all the wither skeletons are going to eventually be dropped. And then we're going to have an area behind here where we're going to be able to stand and watch them and then kill them as they come down. And obviously there is a lot of prettying up that needs to be done here. But for now, I'm just going to open this up a little bit and put down, not there, they got to go 1 lower. Put down a row of stone slabs here. Again, this is not necessarily the permanent look for this. Like, for example, I'm going to just remove all of that right now. I may go ahead and remove some of this material as I build it more, but for now, that's the general gist of it. Yeah. So now I need to be able to get out of here. And interestingly enough, having this here is not such a bad thing. Because I'm eventually going to have to dig all this out to build the redstone for this. And that is going to get kind of handy to have here. What I want to do is get me an easy way to get out of here for now, though. So I'm going to go ahead and I think what I'm going to do, yeah, I think I'm just going to build a simple ladder just right here. And like I said, temporary, but this will just give me a way to get out without messing things up too much. And it'll start there because I want to count this right. I need to make sure that when I get 22 here, that I'm right where I need to be. So let's go ahead and start climbing this. So one of my favorite tricks when I need to measure a vertical surface is to count out exactly how many ladders match the blocks that I intend to travel, and then just place them as I go. And that way I know when I've used my last ladder, I should be at the correct height. And that should be right at that height. And it is. Okay, good. Fantastic. And now we have a simple way to get out of here. Okay, guys, so now we have a platform. Oh, you're going to bother me again, aren't you? I've got to just wall this off, you know. Well, I'm going to need to eventually anyway, because this is where the mechanism for the slider is going to be for the pusher. So this is all going to get walled off on that side anyway. But anyway, we've got this all set up. We've got our dropping area all ready to go. Yeah, we should be in good shape here. Now all we need to do is build some redstone. All right, let's do a little bit of a check-in. So I've enclosed some of this in glass. This is kind of temporary because I don't really like the look too much, but I wanted to make this a little bit safer for me to get on this rail. I've built this rail down to the bottom, down to what will eventually be the AFK area. And again, this is probably rather temporary, but for now, I think that's how it's going to work. So this is going to be our AFK platform. I've opened this area up. I've enclosed this into glass. I need more glass here because I keep getting things spawning out there and shooting at me. But this is the basics, the very basics of what we're going to have. This is going to be the kill chamber where we will smack our wither skeletons. And then all their loot is going to go into this chest over here. And we'll have a platform here that will be made safe where we can AFK. So I decided to go with orange glass all the way up here because I think it looks kind of cool. It goes with the green theme. Yeah, I know, green and orange. They're deliberately garish colors. This is, after all, the nether. And it'll also show off the black wither skulls pretty well. I should be able to see them pretty well through the glass. And I wanted to be able to watch them fall all the way down here. Because, I mean, really, who wouldn't? So yeah, here's my, this is where we're at. So the next step will either be add all the electronics, all the redstone right here that control it all, and then finish the killing zone. Or maybe I'll go up and finish the sweepers up there. I'm not sure which, but it'll be one of the two. And I imagine you'll be watching me do it very shortly. Alright guys, so I've done a little bit more down in here. I've enclosed this area to make it safe. I've improved the track a little bit. I've added a bunch of glass down here. And it's pretty much ready for me to put in all the redstone. But looking at the time on this episode, I'm really not going to have any time to do it. So we're going to have to save all the redstone for the next episode. But we got a lot done here. I think we're ready to go here. You know, I got a lot of room to put it in. I think I'm ready. So let me take you up the track here. What we will do is I want to go back to the spawn chunks. I want to check out the watermelon farm. So some of you, rightly, or at least one of you, one of my illustrious viewers, rightly pointed out that crops don't grow in the spawn chunk without a player present. And I had, if I had ever known that fact, I had since forgotten it. So there you go. Proof that I don't know everything. Of course, I don't know that you needed proof that I don't know everything. Clearly, I don't know everything. There's a ton of stuff I don't know. And, you know, it just goes to show you that you can play this game for years and still not know everything about it. And a lot of what I did know I've since forgotten. So, you know, I'm always looking things up on the wiki. But anyway, let's go ahead and check it out. I know when I last left the spawn chunks that I had left one of the melon chests with one empty row across the top. I think that was right. It was 1 or 2 rows. I can't remember which. But either way, it should be pretty obvious to me if it's the same as it was when I left it. And if that proves to be the case, then unfortunately it looks like I do have to be present in the spawn chunks to grow melons. On the other hand, I have all the melons I need for this project because I do tend to spend a fair amount of time in the spawn chunks. So it's not like I wasted my time building it there, but had I known that, I might have chosen to build it back at the base instead. It's not a big deal. It looks good where it is, so I don't really mind. But let's go ahead and check it out and see how far we're going here. One thing I will say for sure is that these guys definitely fill up. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I went ahead and put this row back up there. And it is on its way to filling up again. I put another row across the top, and it's filling up with iron across the top again. So let's go ahead and check the melon farm. I think we were on this one. Yeah, it's filled up a little bit since I left, but that could just be that this fired when I went away. It may not be growing. Yeah, I suspect I do have to actually be present for the melons to grow. Oh well, that's too bad. But I do know that the iron farm works great. And one thing I'm going to show you here, I've got a little trick. So this iron farm does not move 100% of the iron ingots into these chests because it has to fire so many times to keep the chunk loaded that it has to eventually fire iron ingots in here because there's just not enough poppies to keep it going. So I have this little trick that I can do to get the excess. And let me just show you. If I fill up all my remaining inventory slots, and at the moment I don't have very many, so this is kind of a bad example because I'm carrying around so many items for the Wither Skeleton farm build. If I walk through this, instead of walking through the middle of the nether portal, if I walk through the edge here, this will take me to the top nether portal because the nether portal that I'm going into is a bit narrow and it isn't lined up 100% perfectly. So if I go here, I can collect the surplus iron. And because, well, actually there isn't that much because I've been away. It's been despawning. It's been a while since I've been here. It's not been a while since I've been here. So then I can pick up the extra iron without filling my inventory with the poppies. And I can come back through and walk off the edge and just stuff them back in a chest here. And that's how I can clean up the extra iron without losing any of it. Pretty slick, huh? Well, anyway, that is all we have time for this week, guys. We are out of time. And luckily, though, we've got a ton of melons. And we got some progress done on the Wither Skeleton farm. So next time we'll finish up the Wither Skeleton farm and talk a little bit more. And so yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all your comments below. I really appreciate the comments. Tell me when I make a mistake. You know, goodness knows I make enough of them. And I guess I didn't have to ask you guys to do that because I know you guys well enough. You're going to tell me. You don't need me to tell you to do that. You're going to tell me. You don't need prompting. So anyway, if you like what you saw, please subscribe and leave a like and tell your friends and tell your enemies to come and watch Fog's World. And I will see you all next week. Goodbye, guys. Goodbye.